What's going on, guys? MariK here. Last week we covered all of the maps for the classic Battlefront 1 game, went over their layouts, and talked strategy for each of the various factions. This week we'll be talking about the maps in Battlefront 2, going over the changes to the maps that have come from the first game, discussing strategies for the new maps that are new to the second game, and going over various strategies for each faction on each map. Kamino returns as the cloning facility. This time around, though, the map is a little bit different. As you can see, it looks like the map from the first game, but almost expanded upon. It's a lot bigger. There's more platforms. There's a second main building. And the command posts are set up differently, too. It's also the only map from the first game that was era-specific. Now, this time around, you can play during either of the wars, playing as any of the four factions. When you're playing as the Empire and the clones, you have Beta 1, Beta 2, and Facility East. While playing as the droids and the rebels, you have Alpha 1, Alpha 2, and Facility West. The command posts are broken up a little more than they were in the previous game, which makes it a little easier to take them and a little more difficult to hold on to them. So that's definitely a good thing. The two facilities are more or less identical, so everything on this map feels samey. But just like in the first game, this is a great map for sniping. Most of the time when playing as the clones of the Empire, I like to spawn at Beta 2 and run straight towards the platform between Beta 2 and Alpha 1. You can lob a couple grenades ahead of you because they're going to be coming across that bridge. They've got the same strategy you've got, and as you can see, we blasted quite a few of them. We did unfortunately hit both the health and ammo droid, so that's a bit of a downside, but you've then got a pretty good vantage point to snipe. I couldn't fucking hit the droideka because that damn commander was in the way. Now that we've destroyed the droid, though, we're going to heavily be relying on health and ammo packs, either from engineers or from enemies we've destroyed. There are a shit ton of turrets on this map. One of the more interesting things about the turrets, though, is once they're destroyed, they can't be rebuilt. So they're not like turrets from other maps. The AI will get in these turrets quite frequently, so you can kind of just sit there and pick them off easily enough with the sniper rifle. That's usually my preferred method when dealing with them. Sniping is also just fun to do in this game, and this map just hands it to you. It's a great map to play on for sniping, especially. Did I just see a droid jump off the map? Nope, I almost saw a clone trooper jump off the map. The bridge is also a great place to put the auto turret down if you're playing as a sniper. Ow, where the hell did I just get blasted from? There is a super battle droid behind us. There is a turret with a super battle droid in it behind us. There's also going to be enemy units coming from the cloning facilities to the east and to the west. There's just so much that goes on in this map, and there's so many different vantage points you can take, especially for sniping. It's just a really fun map to play on. You've also got, depending on where you're at, you've got the high ground. See, as I left that platform, now that I've left it, the droids have pretty much taken it over, or at least they're starting to take it over. And I can sit up here from above and attempt to snipe, as long as I don't get blasted by a turret cross map. It's kind of crazy how far they can see across the map to shoot you, but then at the same time, it's like, well, I can see you too. Wow. 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 I'm just, what's happening? Okay, I believe that battle droid is just a ghost. Holy fuck, it literally was a ghost. It's gone. Well, my clone trooper definitely has PTSD from the war. This is one of the few maps where playing as a sniper, I think, excels more than almost any of the other classes. There's just so many points that you can just funnel enemies from, too, because there's all the platforms on the map, and there's all, like, the bridges that go between platforms. That was a hell of a shot without taking that clone trooper's face off. If you're not a fan of sniping, I would still spawn at Beta 2. And instead of crossing the platform to go over towards Alpha 1, I would clear off the enemies off the platform to kind of help out your allies a bit. And then I would instead head up the ramp behind me and head straight into the facility west. The whole point to taking the facility is to kind of force them to have to spawn at one of the other 2 command posts. It's fairly easy to take the command post once you have made it inside. Not a lot happens here, so not a lot of spawning here. But I suppose if a player does die, they would see that it's being taken on the map and then choose to spawn here to prevent it. Once you've taken the facility, you can then take advantage of having the high ground over here above Alpha 1. If you're playing as a sniper, you can just stand up there and snipe if you choose to. Or if you're playing as another class, then you can attempt to rush it, go down there and take it. They're only going to have 2 command posts, though, and this one does have the low ground. As you can see, I'm getting sniped at right now from the higher elevated command post. So we're going to make our way over here. This one I think is easier to take anyways, because not many of them are spawning at that command post because they're trying to get over to Beta 2 to take it so they can kind of have an even playing field for command posts again. The Jet Trooper kind of excels on this map since he can fly around and he can take advantage of how open the map is with all the platforms. However, because of how many snipers there are and the fact that the Jet Trooper is one shot by a sniper, even with a body shot, it's not the best unit to play as. Also, its its EMP launcher is not as useful on this map because it is so open. I honestly don't recommend playing as any infantry class besides the sniper when playing on this map. The only thing that this map is good for is sniping. There's not any other infantry class that really excels on this map. The engineer just doesn't cut it because it's too open. The Jet Trooper, while you've got mobility and you can fly around because the map is so open, but you can't really take advantage of it because you are so frail and snipers will pick you off in one hit. The Dark Trooper, maybe you could jet around and take command posts, get some kills. The oh, well, I thought he almost died, and then he just jet right back up. The Dark Trooper's Arc Caster might actually be pretty helpful on this map because it is just a good weapon, and chaining together kills is never a bad thing. But overall, just if you're not a sniper, pray you don't get this map, and if sniping is not something you're very skilled at, I sincerely suggest you learn how. So that's going to be our strategic map overview for the Kamino cloning facility. I'm not going to bother with multiple factions on this video because there's no point. The maps are identical, flipped around, and there's not really a whole lot of variation as far as taking one versus the other. The strategies are going to be the same. You're either going to attempt to play with whatever class you're most comfortable with, or you're going to play as a sniper, which is the better option on this map in particular. Regardless of which faction you're playing, your goals are either to just snipe as many headshots as you can get, or attempt to take the command post from behind the enemy. The facilities are the easiest command posts to take. Everything happens out on the platforms, with Alpha 1 and Beta 2 being where most of the action happens. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection comes out in just 2 weeks, so we hope to see you on the Battlefront.